In the Imam Tahawi's creed, he says that we have to pray for our leaders, that there's this idea that as you are, so are the people put over you, so that if the people themselves are corrupt, they very often get that type of leadership. So how do we get out of that situation? I mean, I know the trials and tribulations that go with leadership. Like I said, I run a very small college, and the headaches that I have just from that, the lack of sleep, the difficulties that come with that. And so I can't imagine the type of burden that somebody like yourself would have on your shoulders. So what's the light at the end of the tunnel that's not an oncoming train?
Sheikh Hamza, when I started politics, I only came into politics. If I did not have Iman or faith, I would never have come into politics because I had everything. I mean, I was already a big name in my country, a sports star, and I had, respect, and I had, the money I wanted for my life. I had enough money. So, for me to spend 22 years of my life struggling to, become a prime minister, it made no sense. Why would someone like me who had everything? So the only reason was I believed that I had a responsibility to my society because I was given more than others. The whole test of a human being, according to, I think, all religions, is that if God gives you, He will test you according to what He's given you in life. The hereafter test, the test when we meet our when we meet our God, He will test us. What did we do with all the benefits and privileges and His blessings He gave us? So I figured out, and I had already had faith before I came into politics. And I came into politics because I had faith. And because I had faith, I realized that I was so blessed that I had a responsibility to the society. So I wanted to make Pakistan an Islamic welfare state based on the concept of the state of Medina by our Prophet, peace be upon him. And I also, looked at his struggle. The Almighty made him struggle for 13 years. So I figured out that, if he could make his, the person he loved the most to struggle, then, and we were told to follow his way, his sunnah. So that's how I did it. Because I did not think that I was going to make any personal gains or some benefits of power. I came in because I thought we should make Pakistan, make the state on the principles of the state of Medina. And I always believe one thing, that, despite all the difficulties and adversaries and disappointments, I believe that, we human beings God has only given us the power to struggle. Whether we succeed or not is not in our hands, as was shown by, the life of our Prophet, because for 13 years he struggled, and a very tough struggle. And then when he did the hijrat to Medina, he didn't know that it would be the beginning of his rise. And even then in Medina, for first 5 years, it was a real struggle. So therefore, for me, it was just a struggle, and I have this ideal that we want to have this country based on two principles. One is it should be a welfare state, a humane state, which takes care of its bottom strata of the society. And secondly, rule of law. The fundamental principle of a civilized society is where you bring the powerful under the law, and which is the biggest problem in the developing countries, because we don't have rule of law. Powerful have one law, and the weak are judged by another law. So the jails are all filled by the poor people. The rich crooks never get into jails. So these two concepts are the basis of what my struggle is about for Pakistan.